This is my 1996 ZX6R. I just picked it up for 300 bucks with the title, and obviously it's not going to be a flip. We're going to have to part it out. So first, I think I'm just going to get the fluids drained, and then we'll start taking off the expensive stuff and keep working in towards the engine. So starting with the oil, and as I'm down here, I can see everything here is spray painted with some cheap spray paint. It looks like it wasn't prepped well, and it's all flaking off on the side of the radiator here. It's got weird. Whoever spray painted this sucks. It's running really bad, crusting off. Like, this really sucks, and it's probably gonna hurt the value of any pieces I get off from the external part of the engine, which definitely is a big bummer. But, you know, I got it for 300 bucks. All I can do is look at the bright side and see what I can get from it. So, gonna get this oil drained. Let's take a look at this oil once it comes out. Yeah, you know, it's not as bad as I expected. Obviously, it's dark.
Definitely seen worse.
Yeah. Not as glittery as I expected. So now that the oil's out, just getting this antifreeze out of here. This is what I assume is the drain.
You take that radiator cap off, it's gonna come out. There it goes.
Oh yeah. So now that we got pretty much all of it drained, we're just gonna get this overflow off of here. And then, other than the little bit left over in the radiator, we pretty much coolant free on this bike, which means mostly we have all the fluids drained, and we can work on parting it out. There you go. No, there. Is there a hole? Oh, I didn't put the cap on. So now that the fluids are drained, we're gonna work on the easy stuff up here, like the gas tank. Pull this up. Wow. That doesn't look very factory, does it?
Yeah, that harness is worth zero like that.
Right. So running total for the bike, bought it for 300, and with that gas tank, it's just about 120. We're at 180, and we gotta get all these other parts off so that we can get down to zero, and then hopefully break even or go past that. Voltage regulator off. That's our next part. We'll add that to the running total. So next really easy, expensive part is gonna be this ECU. Go for about $110 on eBay, which is really, really nice, seeing as it's so small and it took me 30 seconds to take off. So with that and the regulator, we're at about 130 there. Excuse that 3. That's even worse. That's a 130. And I think next we can probably move to the fuel pump here. Oh. This fuel pump might not be worth anything. Yeah. So I think it's safe to say that fuel pump is not gonna be worth anything. That's unfortunate. We can get these passenger pegs off. Really sucks this is missing a bolt.
Some sellers don't even include those bolts, so
yeah.
I think you're just doing them a favor. If you're missing one, it's still worth something.
This will probably be 40, 50 bucks on eBay,
yeah.
Along with the other one, of course. Like I said, those passenger foot pegs are probably gonna be about 40 bucks. So that is $290 of the 300 already, and we still have all of that to go. So next we're gonna work on getting this airbox off. And from the sticker here, we can see that it has a K&N filter inside, which is a great sign, because K&N filters are not cheap. Here's the moment of truth. See if it actually has a K&N inside.
Oh. It is.
Nice. There it is. If I had to guess, I'd probably say 50 or 60 bucks for this, which is nice. Seeing as that just took a few seconds, take that out, and that's 50 or 60 bucks added to the total. I'm gonna get these gauges off. It's just a 8mm on the back here. That was quick. My socket just ate that bolt. Oh, there it goes. Ugh. Pull these gauges off here. I believe there's more 8s, but I can get those off in just a second. And these are aftermarket headlights, I believe. So they're not actually worth anything. I could potentially sell them as aftermarkets, but it's unlikely that they would sell like that. And even if they do sell, they probably wouldn't sell for very much. Because when people go to buy something used, they want it OEM. They're not gonna buy a used aftermarket part because they're just as well to go buy brand new one for a similar price. So I've got this headlight out, just gotta unplug it from this harness. This is how I feel about these headlights. Absolute garbage. The price for all that is these gauges right here. These are worth $85 on eBay. So yeah, I'll just get those off. I'm getting these gauges pulled off. I'm taking a look at these wires. I think they're OEM. I can tell absolutely that they tried to spray paint this. You can tell because of some of the overspray here, and these wires are painted black. Really dumb, but I think it's OEM. So like I said, it'll be about 85 bucks. So I'll just get these wires disconnected. There come the gauges, 85 bucks there. We are already $75 over the initial price. Bought this for $300 and I'm already at $375. And I will say, this isn't a realistic price. With eBay, there's shipping and there's selling fees, which are gonna make that $375 probably make it be about 200 bucks. That's still good return, seeing as we're only this far into the bike. We have pretty much nothing in here is gonna be worth anything. That's all just snip it and get out of here. But under it, we can see we have the carbs right there. I think that's the next plan of action, is we're gonna get those carbs out of there. So getting this air box off of here. These carbs are placed interesting. They're kind of placed upright, which I've never seen before. Usually they're more towards the back of the bike and the air box will be right here. At least on the Yamaha, that's what it will look like. Getting these carbs off, I'm loosening up the clamps on the boots here. So I got the carbs off of there. And these things, they actually look great. For everything else on this bike being so sucky, these carbs look amazing. So right now I'm just getting the throttle cables out so that carb can fully disconnect from the bike. So we got the throttle cables disconnected up top. Now I'm just pulling them down to the carb. Okay, and now to 80. So I got a few things off the bike, and as you can see, the running total here, I'm already way over the $300 I paid for it. And like I've said 100 times already, we have so much more bike to go through. If we have this entire engine, we have the forks, we have the tires, the brakes, all of it. But do that next week. I'll see you then.